P-Pods, podcast for millennials. Presidential millennial special stuff is because they are privileged or exactly credible. Do you know that millennials were not only living and breathing in our societies? Guess what? They're ready to take a higher place in Indonesia government and mind-blowing us with their performance. But did they stand there because of their family background privilege or because they are competent in that field? With me, VIONA, in P-Pods, we will discuss this controversy truly with critical and realistic thinking together. The State Palace will welcome 7 new faces to the President expert staff. They will assist President Jokowi in creating creative and innovative new breakthrough in his second terms. Aged from 23 to 36 years with different backgrounds and area of expertise, 7 millennials will advise the President on subjects including education, entrepreneurship, creative industries, disability rights, and religious tolerance. Jokowi introduced 7 new members from his closest circle on the veranda of the Merdeka Palace on Thursday. With a variety of backgrounds, such as the case of Putri Tanjung, who was in the spotlight because she is the daughter of the famous businessman Chairul Tanjung, making people think that to become special staff of the president must use the help of state leaders as a Chairul Tanjung. Tanjung is considered to get help from her father to get a relationship to be one of Jokowi's companions. The community feels that bringing the children of the rich and CEO to be appointed as a special staff members of the president and being sent to the palace with a salary of 51 million rupiah cannot be considered a form of justice. They feel that the state should try to cut down the elite and provide opportunities for citizens who do not have the privilege to gain equal access to those who do. Special staff is considered to be from the lower class, as many citizens as possible. And this can all be said of the class sentiment, and they are considered fighting for his class and his descendants, later in the vicious circle full of confidence. After we know who will contribute later become President Jokowi advisor and look at it from the perspective of majority, now it's time for us to see the response from the minority above and response of the political science lecturer at GADJAH MADA University regarding this matter from my interview with him a few days ago. Again, discussing the privilege of Indonesian president official, this time we will look at the perspective of affirmative. According to them, if the social of privilege is connected just because they're rich people or the position of CEO, it's all just a form of envy, blazing social class sentiment and not a matter of privilege. According to them, privilege is when someone gets something without meritocracy. The subject does not have to be rich if indeed the person does not have the expertise or does not yet have something. Then some people take risks to get something and improve their life status is called privilege. He did not get it because of meritocracy, but because he had a chance. The community question is, why don't we get people who are unable or have a meritocracy, aka privilege? The daughter of a rich man who got a position because of his father's company or when they couldn't afford it was privilege. Or ordinary people who get an opportunity from institutions to do something and that can increase their status without having previous expertise can also be called privilege. But if they are indeed smart, pass the test and can pay Ivy League tuitions in various ways, do they still think and do they still want to talk about privilege? Because they all start from zero to have a value as a CEO of a company that was built. As a privilege, it's a normal thing and it must be accepted in reality. But if they are indeed smart, pass the test and can pay Ivy League tuitions in various ways, do they still want to talk about privilege? Because they all started from zero to have value as CEO of the company that was built. As a privilege, it's a normal thing and it must be accepted. But in reality, fair requires practice, not only by looking in the mirror or lamenting life. Nyari Ahmad, as a lecturer at GADJAH MADA University, gave his statement to support the minorities. He mentions about millennialization of politics, where millennial identity and style were adopted in political activities and policymakings. Provide innovation to the government so that it is more up-to-date and adjust the field of young people. As the burgeoning millennial, it's true, they get the privilege. According to Nyari Ahmad, this is one of the Jokowi's strategies to save his government with a fighting fire and fire strategy to save himself. Because he used oligarchs to use other oligarchs, implicitly he needed a big name to launch his government. So yeah, that it is. With many arguments supporting and even destructive, it can only be surrendered to the special staff of this president to remain credible and professional in his work performance and make Indonesia a more advanced country and achieving all of its goals in the next year of Jokowi's period. We will meet again in another episode with more critical discussions. Keep fires yourself with VPods and cheers.